Firstly, just outline your role here at Dulwich Hamlet.
So I am the sports therapist here. I've been here for 2 seasons now. I really just assess injuries, treat them, make programs for the players to get them fit. Sometimes I feel like they're psychologists. But yeah, that's it really.
I'm a sports therapist. I'm here part-time, so maybe 2 times a week that I'm here. I graduated last year, so I'm just helping with the boys' rehab programs, pitch side on the bench, treatments before training or during a game, match day.
I head up the medical team that comprises of myself, Bukola and Toni.
And how long have you been involved with the club now?
6 or 7 years now, since I first started here. It's that long ago, I can't actually remember how long I've been sort of involved. I was here for 3 seasons, we got promoted, and I stepped aside that season after we got promoted, went out on a high, and then I've been sort of behind the scenes since then, and then Gavin and Junior and Kevin asked me to return for this season.
Last year, during my degree, we had to do 200 hours of placement, and I came here for my work experience. So at the end of the last season, the manager asked me, did I want to come back this season to kind of improve on my experience and gain some more knowledge and actually work as a sports therapist. Now I've graduated.
It sort of came about through, some people might remember Corinna that was here with me when I first started. She came down to do her work experience, and the club didn't actually have a therapist at the time, and she asked me if I would be interested in doing it, and it kind of came about from her wanting a placement for her studies basically, and with her being my best friend, it kind of just materialised from there.
I've done placements at Stevenage. I've also worked at other non-league clubs, literally just as a student. But yeah, that's it. My main experience is within football. I have done some work within clinics and like London Marathon and stuff.
Background in sports therapy, was an athlete for many years, went to university at the University of Bedfordshire, and upon graduating I then started working at the University of Kent in academia, a sports therapy technician, which developed into sports therapy lecturer. I'm now at the University of East London teaching sports therapy, and sort of I've got my own clinic, and then I'm still obviously involved with Dulwich as well.
I wanted to be a doctor at a point, but then I also wanted to be an athlete. But then when I got injured, I was just like, if I can't be the athlete, I'm going to help people get to be, do you know what I mean? So in that sense, then when I was like 16, I was like, I don't want to be a physio. I want to get them to do what I couldn't. So
I used to run before, and when I used to get injured, I used to go to rehab and physio, and it kind of interested me of how they know the body, rehabilitation-wise as well. So I thought there's just an aspect of the world that I would like to go into if I didn't pursue my career of being an athlete myself.
It's an interesting dynamic. I've taught both of them. I've known Bukola since she was 16 years old. She came here on work experience originally, then decided to do sports therapy at Kent where I worked, and then she was subsequently here on placement, and then I've known Toni through teaching her at Kent also. Our dynamics, it's quite an interesting one because we've all been in each other's kind of faces for quite a long time, through me teaching them and through me knowing Bukola quite a while, through her contacts with Gavin. Our dynamic's quite an interesting one because it almost goes from me being the big sister, as it were, and kind of telling them off, to me actually going, you know what, these girls are doing so well now and they're actually thriving on their own without me needing to guide them. So it's an interesting dynamic, and I try not to be too much of the bossy big sister, but they've both got so much potential, and I like to try and make sure I keep pushing them to actually strive and reach what they can actually achieve in life.
I've learned a lot from her in the aspects of sports, on just how to be a lady in sports, to be fair, and my knowledge on growing of injuries and treatment-wise. So she's helped me advance a lot, and just to believe in myself and know that I'm actually doing the right thing.
I didn't do a placement at Dulwich, but then she's the reason why I feel like I've got the job at Dulwich, because she saw my potential in me, and because she used to work here, and obviously she's come back this season, I feel like she picked me out of her students to think who would be like one of the best people for this role, so she has had a big impact in my career at football so far.
Because we're all different ages, we're all able to learn off each other, and nobody takes anything to heart too much. So if something's not going right, we kind of motivate each other to either pick up the slack if that needs be, or if we need guidance of we don't know what we're doing, nobody's too scared, or they don't feel like there's a hierarchy in the sense that we're not allowed to ask or gain knowledge from anyone else. I think, we work well together.
I see a range of different athletes that come up there, from cyclists to runners to footballers. It could be any kind of athlete can walk through my door. So it's a massive difference to what is actually here at Dulwich. It's a massively different dynamic as well. We have a laugh and a joke here, which I wouldn't necessarily always do with my patients who are seeing me as a professional.
I'm actually a sports therapist qualified, and I'm pushing to do my masters in physiotherapy so I can continue and make it to Premier League. That's my aim.
Hopefully getting promoted with the club, that would be like a number one goal. Or just as myself, maybe going to do my masters in physiotherapy and then maybe coming back here or within another club in athletics, maybe, because I used to run myself, so maybe being a physio at an athletics club and just kind of pursuing that and getting higher up in the leagues, I guess. So yeah.
I've been at a couple different clubs and see how they work, and every club expects something different. So I feel like working with the management team here, I feel like I've just been pushed to work harder and harder and just keep my knowledge on top and just know as much as I can to keep them fit. Like, it's a great team.
I must say, before sports, I was not interested in football at all, before being a sports therapist, but this is my second season here and I've grown to love the club as family and actually understand sports and football, let's just say. So yeah, they do grow me, they're like family. So, but it's sad because obviously at the end of the season you never know what's going to happen. So, but yeah, it's another love of mine now.
I'm back. What can I say? I went away, I thought I'd escaped, and I'm back. It's been very different for me this time around because I'm not around generally on game days. It's generally training that I kind of look after the boys. I wouldn't be back if I didn't love it.